Hello everybody and welcome to another video review by me, Kozan. Today we are watching a Master League Genji player on console. He is playing on Volskaya Industries. Let's break this down. To start with, basically what we are looking at is a very slow comp, so you don't really have a lot of people to jump in with you. Basically all of these 4 characters, right? None of these can really jump in with you. And you only have the D.Va really that can help you out in that case. So what does that mean? Basically, between the 2 choices that you still have, there's still 2 choices, of course, with, well, there's multiple, but the way you can play this kind of easily is either being a tactician kind of style Genji, playing with your team more, staying with the Reinhardt mostly, and you'll get easy heal from Moira, of course, that way, but also you'll be able to deflect and get on any flankers that try to bother your backline. You do have a little bit of a open backline with the Ana, of course, and she's always a potential danger. But you also have the D.Va right there to kind of help you out. And that's kind of the other way, right? You can try to dive in with your D.Va, depends on how your D.Va plays as well, so you want to keep an eye out on that. If your D.Va does play well and keeps diving in on people that are kind of out of position of the enemy, that are alone, then you can definitely help her out by diving in there as well and dashing through the people that she's targeting down and just making sure that those people die really quickly. Also, what you could try to do, right, is of course try to be an extremely flanking Genji and just try to pull resources more away from the front line. And it kind of depends on what the enemy is playing, of course. It's very dangerous to do in this case as well, because your team is such a slow comp, so you really don't have anybody that can help you out or heal you properly. Well, maybe the Ana, but that's only if she has line of sight, of course. And there's going to be a lot of shields probably, usually on this point. Alright, anyway, let's see how this works out.
Stop moving me, there's McCree. McCree's dead.
You suck, dude.
So that was a really quick pick already on the McCree, so that's really good. As long as you guys now move in together as a group, you'll have a 6v5 of course, which is amazing. Ah, oh, that's an unlucky one. I do think that you could have been a little bit quicker reactionary on the Symmetra turret. I'm not sure how easy it is on console to hit those, but you know, it would be beneficial for your team. The quicker they are down, the less likely they are to have a TP or something like that. You are very low HP here. Oh. Also, we got to be aware, right? They do have a Junkrat, so always watch out for traps in these cases. But you are still low HP. You're missing a lot. In this case, I wouldn't have minded actually if you went with the Reinhardt, and then just because of the Moira there as well, it's easy to get healed up. Also, if you look correctly, like even for me, it's kind of I had to look at it one time, but yeah. You can clearly see a trap here. It's a little bit low quality for me on the YouTube video, but I can still clearly see the stuff over here from the Junkrat trap. And I think actually this, I'm not sure if this Orisa does it on purpose, but she does lure you into it.
Okay, good. Okay.
And also, let me see. I don't like this. Well,
we have tanks, right?
I mean the Symmetra was also shooting from there, but I'm not sure if I like that. She was shooting from over there, but I'm not sure if I like that deflect. I would have liked it better if you tried to. Let me see. You could have tried to go on top of this truck. You could have rotated with your Reinhardt and then try to get on top of the hut, and then just it might have been a little bit easier for you to see this trap. It might have been a little bit easier for you to just shoot, and you would still have your deflect available for you in case of weird situations where you suddenly are trapped.
Okay, good.
Like this.
Sorry.
I'm not sure if it would have mattered that much, since there is a there is the Symmetra there as well, so deflect won't do that much, but yeah. Okay. So luckily for you, your team carries pretty hard here.
Yeah, dude, she's on my jog.
So let's continue on to the second point. Right, let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay. So your team is kind of waiting there. You see the Junkrat where he's shooting from. What I would like you to do in these cases, when you're a little bit quicker here than your team, you can try to set up here already and just have a quick peek on the right side. You could also go on the left side, of course, the left flank, and just have a quick peek whether to see, to spot whether or not there's any enemy flankers in those locations.
Good.
Moira's going up here. So right now, right, there's a short moment where your team is not really ready. So you had a short, brief interval where you can just look over there to see whether or not they have any flankers over there.
I'm in you.
Because there aren't a lot of people here, so even now you still... I think that was nice. You were checking for the Junkrat trap now. Really good pick on the Mercy here, by the way. Well done. I think a little bit slow on the deflect as well. You saw that the Junkrat was already shooting you. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
I slept some bag over there.
Yeah, there, right. So as soon as you see this bomb going around this, you definitely want to immediately press the deflect and just land in front of his face.
Dude, did I sleep the Mercy?
There's a Genji on my ass, team. Behind.
Okay, good pick on the Moira as well.
I'm trying, Ryan.
The Reinhardt, I like this. Going for the Genji, very good.
There's a Genji in the
Fortunately, your own Reinhardt did die there.
back. Give me like 3 seconds and
Oh my god, these comms.
I'll give you sights.
See, it's actually regular for the comms on the console to be this chaotic and enthusiastic, or...
No. They're right there, team.
And
right
kinda
there.
trolly.
You can see 'em.
Right, so you go back here, it's probably the best call, and you see again, I wasn't paying full attention, so you lose the Reinhardt, they rest the Genji.
Found him for you, kill him. Give me like
It's kind of in the moment when you were over here, right, so that's really nothing you could do done about it. The D.Va gets some mech back as well, so it's kind of equalized again.
They're right there, team.
You lose the Moira, and you try to get out with low HP, so I like this.
Kidding me?
Going back, staying low HP as well, so you feed your support ultimates. No? Okay, you get the health back. And so in this case, I wouldn't have minded actually if you stayed low HP, because you were already kind of safe. Then you can try to find a spot there to hide. Let me see if you actually... Alright, so... let me see if you have eyes on it. No, not really. I guess, yeah, like here we can see it, right? So you could have tried to get in this corner over here, or you could have tried to get behind a truck. And then in that case you would just feed a little bit of support ultimate,
Kidding me?
which would be beneficial to your team, right?
Oh, I'm bad now.
Did I miss anything? Let me check my notes. No, that's pretty good.
Your mom's bad.
That was everything. Okay.
Shot myself in the head.
Okay. So, I think this is a little bit aggressive over here. Maybe a bit too much.
Can I not be here?
Especially because your team is not there. I think your Moira saves you there.
Here, Adrenaline, are you close to spawn, dude?
I am.
Turn around.
Notice that you definitely have a little bit of... Maybe you're panicking when you're trying to shoot the smaller targets, but you adjust your aim a lot less than when you do try to shoot an Orisa or something, or a D.Va. I think you're more confident against those targets, but a lot less against the smaller ones. So definitely try to work on that as well.
What are you?
I like jumping up there before you poke here. Seeing the Tracer here and the Genji as well. So you definitely want to make this call for your team that there's 2 flankers on the right side here. Because this is actually what happened last time as well. I think this is where the Reinhardt, remember when he yelled out, there's a Genji behind us, and all of a sudden... So I'm assuming they were here already previously as well, and that's why you lost the first push. And now, because you're not calling this one out, they are actually going to contest your backline a lot. And, you know, you had a moment here where you could have called it out to your team, and then your team, at least like the D.Va or something, or maybe another character, maybe a healer or Moira or something, 2 of you could have gone that way and then dealt with those 2 flankers that are kind of out of position away from the rest of the team, or they would have had to use more cooldowns to get back, right, and that would just help you out in the fight.
I mean, I am dumb, but...
Huge anti? Just kidding.
At least they would not be able to flank you from behind, and they... yeah. Okay, so using KO Ken here. It's alright, getting the Mercy, so good targeting there. Afterwards going on the Orisa, yeah.
He sucked us both.
And yeah, this is where you see like your McCree dies to... The Genji dies... no, the Genji kills your Ana and he kills your McCree as well.
Oh, that's a UG no.
So if that didn't happen,
bag.
He probably wouldn't have gotten his blade, and he probably wouldn't have helped clean up here as much.
Get a tick.
Even though his blade didn't do anything, he still gets the DMAC on D.Va. So he basically kills 3 people because your entire team was unaware of his position there.
Freeze this, kill him all.
And basically as soon... Let me see, it's over here. I'd say now that you're half HP, I think you even get a little bit lower. Okay, that's when you dash through while she's shooting at you. So yeah.
Get a tick.
Right now in the kill feed, I wouldn't mind it if you... Well... I would have liked it if you were aware of the kill feed here a little bit more. And noticed that a lot of your team just died. And used your dash to try and get to the mega, and then you know, you would have been a little bit earlier in a position where you can kind of already go for another flank, a new flank, by retreating up on that. I'll show it to you later. I know you're gonna go there actually, but yeah, trying to go for the mercy here is a little bit too risky in my opinion, and I'm surprised they didn't punish you earlier, and actually it might have been better if they killed you right there when you dashed the mercy, because now it's just, you're in very big danger of staggering the rest of the fight. Right, you're gonna die very late now if they do still get you, and then you use dash here right now to still get to the health pack. So first of all, that makes them hear you a lot clearer that you're here. And it gives away that you're here, and now they're gonna collapse on you. I think this Tracer was already looking for you, right? You used deflect on her, that's fine. But yeah, I would have liked it better if you tried to get to this location earlier on when I mentioned you had to dash backwards. And then you can hang out in either this building, or you can hang out on the bottom here, or a little bit over here, and then you can just kind of poke through here to see whether or not there's any flankers coming in and contest this area.
One by one, maybe the...
But right now, because you did still try to go in, and then, you know, they had enough time to catch up with you and find you.
I'll fuck your dad.
And now, I think... Oh, sorry about the trucks outside. That's a bit unfortunate. So I think, right here... I'm gonna up my volume as well a little bit. Okay. So I think right here, you didn't call out that you're not there, and now your team is going in. They do have a pick though, so that's really good.
Easy clap. That's gonna be
But yeah, it would have been better, of course, if you were here still and had to dash. So very unfortunate that your McCree dies there as well. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything.
I tried to roll and I just got my ass.
Tracer's dead.
Good dodge there. Nice shooting on the mercy here.
Good job, good job, good job.
Alright, so here as well. Let me see, after getting this mercy, there's a lot of people targeting your D.Va, and you still have both your abilities. So like, I wouldn't have minded if you try to dash into the ground a little bit, try to end up in front of the D.Va or next to the D.Va, and try to deflect for her. Instead, you're trying to shoot the Orisa that just respawned, and that's a huge amount of HP, right? You're not gonna really get her quickly. You probably could have helped out your D.Va a little bit, especially because you have a healing orb here, and maybe she would have been able to survive, or, you know,
Why did I stay
a little bit longer until her boosters are back up, and then she might have been able to escape. Unfortunately though, she does die as well, and that kind of spells the end of this push. You recognize this, and you try to hide here. It's yeah, like any reasonable people, they should be aware of this, and this shouldn't really work. So you probably should have just kept trying to run away.
Let's go in.
I think Tracer was already waiting for you there. Also here, right, again, your team is going in. They're kind of unaware that you just died. You want to make sure that they are aware of that you're still at spawn. Alright, so this time, it's kind of the opposite. Your entire team is dead. You have 97% ult percentage. So basically, if you just hide yourself... let me see, we can go a little bit back here actually. So already here, right, you could already set up either here behind this wall, because you have the wall here, this is the door opening, and it kind of goes over here, right. You can kind of set up here so they don't see you already. Be ready for a nice flank with your blade. You could try to go all the way around, or you could again, right, set up on the left side over here, try to hide somewhere up top. There's a good spot, and then maybe you can get on a platform, sneak your way in, and immediately have your blade on the back line. There's no reason for you now here to, as what you're gonna do, to poke like this, and it's just giving away your location, and now it's you know, it's costing you time in which you could have set up in a flank, and they're chasing you as well. So you know, again, a little bit dangerous. You could well, you still had your dash. You know, it's unlikely they would have killed you, but it's a possibility there. Okay, how far are we here? 15. Okay. Let me try to speed this up. So now you're trying to get there, kinda, right? But okay, yeah. I'm not gonna go into this too much. I would have liked you to go on the Genji a little bit quicker. That's on the left there right now. I think you're trying to go for him right now, or you're trying to go for a flank for your blade, like I mentioned before. But because you do try to go through the middle like this, instead of already going from the left side, obviously they're gonna see you, and even unfortunately you get sucked by the Orisa back towards the main door, and now you're kind of stuck here. You're kind of shooting the shield. I don't like that either. I would have liked you to target the Diva, so you're targeting definitely here and there. Or yeah, target selection isn't the greatest. Tracer as well, it's still behind you.
Dude, you're bad.
Going for this blade like this.
She's anti, she can die.
I mean, it's alright.
I didn't mean to pick Ryan, game.
You get to 3 kills. Yeah.
Genji, listen to me.
I mean, it does allow the rest of your team to just kind of collapse on the backside. So this is valid. But yeah, I would have liked it if it was a little bit sooner, and if you came from the left side. Or the right side, more of a flanking position.
There's a Tracer too.
This is what I mean, like, yeah. Those comms on the console, I'm not sure if this is regular. Anyway, oh, right, I forgot one thing. Right over here, the Genji that went in, he just used his dash to get into this location. It should be very obvious that he's going to deflect in this location, trying to get the Mara. You do actually shoot him as well. I'm not sure how much it would have mattered, but you know, he does get, with the deflect, get the kill on the Moira, and then he manages to get his dash reset. So if Moira actually stayed alive there, you guys had a good chance of getting this, but right now... Also, the tracking here, or at least the shooting on the Lucio, like, it takes you a long time before you're capable of shooting that Lucio. So again, the small targets where I feel like you're not very confident against.
Gosh, bro, did we...
And right now your team is kind of dead. Yeah, just try to die quick in those situations.
Just killed me.
Can I have tank?
Anywhere near the
I don't
point.
give a fluff, bro.
You did actually have monkeys, so right now not anymore. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 7 minutes 6. Whoop, take some time. Go. Okay. Yeah. Let's look at this.
A flug?
What's blade? I know you just used it. What is it? Jesus.
Okay.
Let's fucking
Going for, you probably could have poked this Mercy here a little bit more, right? She's all alone. Instead of, well, going for the Genji now definitely is really good.
Mercy is one shot.
Not the greatest aim again, but alright. Had to take the Mega, that's fine. Over here you're going for the Orisa when she's still in her heart, well, fortify mode. You can see it by the color obviously, and also like we saw the Lucio is right there. So yeah, I probably wanted to target the Lucio. I see you do this a lot actually, targeting the Orisa when there's other targets that are way better to target.
Oh my god.
Or, you know, targets that are more valuable for you to take down.
Sleep, kill her. She just got a res off and it takes
So for example, well, you didn't have your dash here, but yeah. There's, I think it's Genji that's now still purple. Going for the Mega now, but...
She just got a res off and it takes like 9 years to do.
Yeah, you're still kind of right on top of the tank, so it's really hard for you to follow up on it. And going for this Mercy, that's really good.
Are you fighting Genji in here still?
Finding the Mercy and then immediately taking her down.
I am, dude! I am!
What is going on?
Am I forgetting anything? Alright, yeah. When you were killing that Mercy, you probably, well, it's right here.
Okay.
There's a Diva bomb that comes in. Right here, you probably could have checked, you had a short brief moment to check whether or not your Ana has her ult. You could have called it on the comms as well, whether or not she's ready, and then you could do the combo, of course.
I hate this game.
Actually, did your Ana die anyway? No, your Ana's still alive.
Okay. I hate this game.
So yeah, if you could communicate with your Ana to get that combo rolling, then it's a lot more viable for you to target down the tanks first. Okay.
Are you fighting Genji in here still? Oh my god.
No, just focus on healing. Focus on healing. I got you. Focus on healing.
am,
Focus
dude.
on healing.
I am!
D.Va.
What is going on?
What, D.Va?
So yeah, right here, you probably wanted to stick on the mini Diva. Even your team is calling it, and
What is going on?
yeah, you have severe difficulties targeting Lucios, it seems.
Kill Genji!
And turning around and trying to get the Genji finally with your team. So yeah, definitely want to try to stay on the targets where your team is targeting a little bit more as well. Just so you get those dash resets a lot quicker. And optimize the amount of damage that you can do.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, this guy is so loud.
If she'd got that off, I would have reported my whole team. On God.
Yeah, because I already went through it one time, a little bit back and forth. I kind of got deafened by it. Also, you saw this Genji coming by here. Let me go back a little bit. Blah, blah. So right there, you see him go by. So you can call this out actually for the team to already get ready to target down the Genji that's coming in. He's gonna have less time to contest that way. Like the Moira, the Reaper. You see, even the Diva, they're all looking at the left right now. And if you had called that they're going on the right, or at least the Genji's on the right, then yeah, you probably would have gotten him a lot quicker.
We should have won this game like an hour and a half ago, team.
Is that even possible?
Yeah,
Okay.
Reaper, kill everything.
I'm trying, my dude.
This is good. Nothing much really to say about this. Just going in here, nice deflecting there. Going for the supercharger first, that's really good. A little bit early, going on the score screen all the time here. Like you're still mid battle, right? I'm not sure why you're checking the score screen here.
We got that Genji that hits a fat blade but doesn't get a kill.
Maybe to see whether or not they're changing, but like you just want to keep looking around, right, and try to target people that in those situations. All right, for defense, let's see where I had written it down. 10:55. All right. So now you have an even slower comp with you. Nobody can really jump with you. So either you're going to be the solo assassin, or you're going to be the... Oh. Or you're going to be really the tactician again, right? To follow up with your team.
The only thing he waited was
kind of protecting your Ana mostly, and yeah, just trying to keep them outside. Alright. Oof, that guy. Personally, I don't like Genji that much in this composition, but you know, it can work, of course. You're just gonna have to counter dive really a lot if they do run dive. Anybody that tries to go in, you just target down immediately.
oh wait, you're that guy that like saying, but you know what?
No.
They have a Junkrat. What else?
No.
Okay, so let's just watch this for a little bit.
Genji won, nice.
I'm not completely sure why he deflected there. I guess the shield was about to break, but alright.
He said no. Run home.
Alright, it wasn't too bad. So following up here, a little bit early on that deflect as well. Probably could have just shot some shurikens into that one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna lower this even more because this guy is... Oh my god. I would have muted this guy.
Okay, well, Breezes is feeding. And our Junkrat
oh, right. Yeah, this is... Look at this. Okay, so, well, while chasing you, Moira manages to kill herself. So at this point, you probably want to make the call for your team to try and hold backwards more defensively on the point. There you have the Mega, of course, and it's going to be a little bit closer to your spawn, further away from their spawn. You do still get there, Genji, but right now you're moving away with the rest of your team, and I think the better option would have been if you kind of stayed with your Orisa and between the Orisa and your Ana, and just kind of help them get there, you know, whenever they get still dove upon. you can help them get there.
This game or this round?
So unfortunately your Orisa does die.
I think I was the Winston.
Targeting the D.Va here, it's alright, because, you know, you did get her low already, and people are targeting her anyway.
I'm 70 on
And having some difficulties deciding on who to go. You definitely wanted to go on the Mercy here. Afterwards, it seems like you realized this, but it's alright.
Look, man. Everyone makes
So it's, you probably wanted to just kind of die on point here. It was, like, you already had your Junk die, your Moira die really quickly, your Orisa died while trying to retreat. So, well, I think you were trying to get your dash. So maybe you could have tried to go for a dash on the Mega, but then again, it probably wouldn't have worked out that well. And maybe you would have just staggered yourself for the second point. So just trying to stay onto the point here and dying on there. Buy as much time as you can.
Look, man. Everyone makes mistakes, okay?
So you, yeah, just dash towards. Let's see. As soon as you get this dash, probably the best course of action, right, is to just dash into them again and then get those few milliseconds extra of contesting. It's not much, but hey.
Everybody.
Black man.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Let me see. Where are we at? Where are we at?
Everybody.
Alright, so now we can kind of see what kind of comp they're running as well. So let's try to go over this. Basically what I noticed is that you have a little bit more of a vulnerable backline just because of the Ana. And they have the Mercy and the Lucio. So if they fill out the map correctly, the Mercy will be able to just jump towards like the D.Va that's going for contesting a flank, and then to the Orisa, and maybe a Junkrat somewhere, or the Genji that's somewhere. Right, and the Lucio is a lot better at peeling, because the Moira is going to be able to, well, she's going to have to kind of stick to the tank line, the Orisa and the Roadhog. And maybe the Junkrat as well if he stays with them. And then the Ana is going to be further backwards. So what that means is that their Genji is basically going to have an easier time playing the assassin role. If he does play the assassin role on top of your Ana, you kind of want to try to help out by contesting the flanks and making that job really a lot more difficult by being the flanker yourself as well and trying to meet this Genji on a one-on-one every time. Yeah, or of course you can still try to go for being the assassin yourself as well, and then trying to go for the Mercy. But again, it's a little bit more difficult for you to get the Mercy than it is to get an Ana.
Everybody's got to get.
As long as they play correctly. Now their Lucio just went in. Definitely you probably could have targeted him down, but instead going in here, getting a very easy, nice early pick on the Mercy there. Luckily with the Flask and the Moira also targeting her, and then you being able to just dash and hit her with a couple of shurikens. So that's really good, and that kind of cleaned up this fight for you. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. How far in are we? Okay, I'm gonna try to speed this up a little bit because we still got a lot to go through. Jesus Christ! Stop screaming! Okay, so this is also another kind of important thing I've noticed. Let me see, this is at this point. Alright, so poking over here is not really necessary. I would have liked it better if you just kind of stayed hidden somewhere on a flank. You already have your ult, so you don't really need to do initial damage here. You're not going to get somebody killed, right? You're not going to delay them a lot. And it's just going to feed them ult charge for their support ultimates.
Well, then what happened? Did you just walk off? That's even worse.
Okay, so alright, so this is where I noticed one thing, right? Let's just play it out one time. Alright, so what I saw you do is you drop down off the low ground, and then you use your second jump to kind of go further in. Right, so that's the second jump. I think it would have been better if you use your double jump a little bit better here. I'm not sure, maybe you missed your jump here and then accidentally fell off. But of course you can just jump in one time, kind of be above them, see what's up there around this corner a little bit better. And then if it's too dangerous, you can still use your second jump to jump back up again. But instead, because you do decide to go forth and then use the second jump to go further, you lose that possibility. And Yeah, okay. Also, well, you're not very likely, because you did basically see the D.Va here, right? You're not really gonna kill this D.Va. You're not really charging up any ultimates, so you're kind of using all your abilities here for no specific reason, in my opinion. Like, maybe the Junkrat is dumb enough, right, to shoot a ball or like a grenade and his mine into you, and then maybe you get the kill on the Junkrat. But with the Matrix here as well, it's not very likely that will happen. Very unlikely, actually. So you kind of just use your abilities here for no reason. And really, I would have liked you to stay on the high ground here with the double jumping. Just so you jump here, you see the Junkrats with them, and then you can jump back. Or even really the D.Va, right? You don't really want to be seen or get contested too much, because you want to be in a good position to blade. And now, this is a really good D.Va bomb actually by the enemy. Because you don't have your abilities anymore, this D.Va bomb is very dangerous for you. Of course, I'm not sure how much this D.Va read into that, because she did just see you use your dash and then shoots it. Afterwards, she does this again. So I'm not sure if she does this just because of you. But just because of you, this would already be a good D.Va bomb, right? Because if she gets you, that would already be value. Then how you actually try to dodge it also is a little bit questionable. You try to go into the alleyway. Of course, you see the Junkrat spamming into here. And then you try to climb up here. Instead, what you could have done as well is quickly turned around and try to climb up on this wall over here, basically. Well, it's, you know, we can't see it really. But yeah, just climb up there. It's easier for you to not get hit by the Junkrat, the stuff that just gets spilled into here. And you still line of sight D.Va bomb that's being thrown into your back line. Instead, what you do, of course, is without abilities or without deflects, you go up here again, and you take a face full of damage. And you're still in the D.Va bomb, actually. So this is really dangerous for your team right now. Let me see if I had a lot of stuff important to say. Also, yeah, you could have called out that the Junkrat tire was coming from that location afterwards. Okay, so yeah, you guys managed to regroup here, and you guys managed to retake the point barely. Let me see if I really saw a lot of stuff here. Okay, we can watch this. It's a cool moment. So going for the Lucio first, that's nice. Going for the Genji as well first, that's really good. Going for those squishies and then going for the tanks, that's good. Although there is still a Junkrat on the point, so I would like you actually to use this deflect and your time here to go for the Junkrat first. Or the Mercy, actually. Instead, going for the Orisa already, I'm not a big fan of that. Like I said a couple of times before already, I see you going for the Orisa a lot when there's still other better targets out there for you to go for. So luckily you do get the Junkrat actually, but like you're completely unaware of the Junkrat, and situations like these, it's very easy for you as you're trying to bounce around the Orisa to just accidentally go into a random Junkrat bomb. And if you're more aware of the Junkrat because you're fighting him, it's easier for you to dodge those.
It is XQC, dude. Oh my god.
Okay.
Killed like half a person, bro.
Okay, let's not fuck up again.
So here, you actually could, yeah, you could have gone for the mini a little bit earlier. You do wait for your healers to heal you, but you keep jumping around, so maybe your Ana is having difficulties hitting you. You could have just stood still here for a little bit, on top of that edge, or you could have gone for the mini to get full HP quickly and then start poking forward. Also, I feel like that you could have gone with your team, try to make the call for your team to follow up on that Genji that was still out here somewhere, that was trying to come back in. And now we're gonna see some of your pre-shooting here as Genji, and I see you shoot over here. Basically, that it's not really a good location to pre-shoot. I'm not sure if you were trying to shoot there or if you were just having a little bit of a moment of how do you call it, inconsistent aiming. But of course you kind of want to shoot in these locations over here, or just around those corners, right? So where people are bound to show up, and then suddenly maybe sometimes you get lucky and get those couple of shurikens in their face, and then you get that little bit of ult charge.
My doggies?
No.
From longer range you definitely still have a lot of trouble, like you don't manage to hit anything here. Also what I noticed is that you keep jumping up here with the double jump. I don't think that was completely necessary. You could have just kind of moved back and forth, make it a little bit easier for you to keep shooting at this longer range. And you know, you don't have to then adjust your cursor for going up and down and left and right. It's just a lot, well, I say cursor, but your analog stick.
I may have to, I probably threw again. I threw again.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing.
So going here, going for the defa, I don't like that too much. Using your deflect on the right, I don't like it. It's from too far away, right? She has a lot of spread, and I don't think that would have done a lot. You know, you could have just double jumped away very quickly there and tried to find a better target. Also, what I see you do is fall backwards here a little bit more. I think you could have tried to get a little bit further over here. You still had your dash in case you did have to retreat in a panic. But yeah, you could have gone over here and then either gone for a flanker round on top of this Mercy, or you could have set up over here behind the wall and then immediately collapse on anything that tries to go in as a squishy. Instead, right now you're kind of again in the front. You do manage to get a couple of nice shots on the Mercy. Good dodging this time on the Diva Bomb.
Guys, come back! Why
Us, come back! You're telling us to come back!
Ugh, this guy, dude.
There's a Lucio asleep in our spawn. Thank you.
So again, right, you're going for the Orisa, and there's still Mercy, there's Junkrat, there's a lot of people you could have gone for instead. So I'm not going to go into this fight too much. You guys hold here. Let me just find the most important things right now, because I feel like I can start going to the end of this. Let me see. No dash, away from the blah blah blah. Right, okay, so at one point I saw you dash away from a Diva Bomb. I guess we can look at that when it wasn't really necessary.
Heroes!
Right, this Diva Bomb, there's, you know, this is an easy walk for you to get over here and not get hit by this. Yeah, you still use your dash, so that's a waste of the dash, of course.
My mind's on time for
Luckily, you do get your blade, and then you get the dash reset. But you do go for the Zarya, which I'm not the greatest fan of. Maybe you just lost kind of track of the Genji and the other guys, and they do have the Lucio. How do you call it? Aura. Blah, 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 blah. Why do I forget? Sound barrier. That's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, they do have the sound barrier, so it's very difficult for you in this case, even with the nano blade. Okay, let's just. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the other thing I saw. It's a lot of similar stuff, but going for the Zarya here. Right, so you force the Zarya bubble, and then you go back again. But at this point, you cannot definitely make the call that Zarya just use their bubble and then help your team to recognize the opportunity to dive this Zarya right here.
Can you put down your heels?
And then right here, you kind of ignore, right, again, you're going to go for this Diva, but the rest of your tanks are going for, I think, the Mercy in this case. So the Mercy is going to be low, and you don't recognize this, that you can actually, or should really, go with your tanks to get as many dash resets as possible. So yeah, let's just see this play out. So Mercy jumps up there. Now you're trying to kill the Diva, even with the Mercy right there next to her. I mean, she does have the bubble, but, right now it's gone, so you do go for her. Then they call out the Zarya, you try to go for the Zarya, so that's good, but you probably already could have been with your tanks, right? And already preemptively been on the sim target, and now you were on the high ground and you had a little bit of a difficult dash, I suppose. Alright. Alright, but that was a little bit unfortunate. Right now, though, we're gonna see you carry this fight with the Nano. So yeah, I didn't have a lot to say about that. You get a great dash through it, and it wins you the game. So let's just play this out, and I'm gonna talk about the general advice I'm gonna leave you with, or reiterate the points. So basically, when you're attacking, try to be able to check your flanks a little bit more. Try to contest that ground, make it more difficult for enemy flankers to get on top of your backline, because that cost a lot of time for your push this time, because they did get through your team basically very easily just by flanking around all the time. Know when to expose yourself. Keep a tab on when you already have your ultimate and when it's necessary for you to poke, and when it isn't. Yeah, we can watch that again, actually. That was a nice cleanup from you. So yeah, know when to expose yourself, know when they already seen you, so don't try to hide, just try to keep running or die quicker when the battle is already lost. What else? Target selection, of course, was a big one. I felt like you could have been a lot more together with your tanks and trying to get those dash resets a little bit quicker. I like this, actually, trying to protect your soldier and your Ana there from their flankers, so that's really good. Keeping them safe. Yeah, abusing the double jump a little bit more on the high ground, so you get a better feel for how many characters there are over there. And then you can use the second jump to jump back on top of the high ground again. You could abuse that a little bit more, a little bit quicker. And then the aim versus smaller characters, right? That was definitely a thing where you seem to struggle with a lot. Especially the Lucio. At one point you try to shoot like two blades of how do you call it? Two big shuriken thingamajigs to the Lucio, and then you just kind of give up. You're just like, oh, alright, I'll find another target. But yeah, that's basically it. I think if you work on those things, you're gonna do a lot better. Also pre-shooting, of course, from longer distance. That aim, just make sure you keep aiming at the right locations. Try to adjust that a little bit more. Practice it a little bit more, and then it's gonna get easier if you don't jump up all the time, because you have less adjustment to do. You can just move back and forth. Keep moving back and forth instead. And don't jump up like a monkey. You're gonna hit more. You're gonna hit more basically, and it's not really necessary to jump up and down here all the time, unless if they really start targeting you. Of course, you can then jump up and then dash away if you really have to. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope it was some insightful stuff for you here and there. Maybe you have learned a thing or two. Hopefully you have. And I hope it helps, dude. I wish you the best on the ladder. I hope you don't have that many other people. Mic is loud. Oh, damn. I can lower it a little bit. Is this like this? He's just gonna have to figure it out, I think. We'll see. Yeah, I'm adjusting it. Oh, God. How about this? It's a little bit slow when I realize this. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna wish you guys the best and have a good one. See you next time. Bye bye.